Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Wednesday, August 20th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is a singer, songwriter, and recording artist based in the LA area. And he will be joining me also with Ira Watkins. And I apologize for the technical difficulties and glitches that we're having, Fashion Dolls. So let me go ahead and add my very special guest. Hopefully, it will work. Hopefully, it works this time because I had to uninstall and then reinstall back. There we are. Now I can hear you. Hello.
What's going on?
I'm doing wonderful. It's such a pleasure to have you back on. Let
I
me share
appreciate it,
this
Stevie.
live with J Lamb so that we can get him in here. Again, I apologize for my tardiness. I had to upload the OOTD, fighting with IG, had to make sure that I would be able to see both of you. I had to uninstall and then reinstall back. Okay, there is J Lamb. Let me add him. Welcome as you just coming in. And shout outs to my brother K Tukes, host of the K Tukes spot. So make sure you guys go subscribe and check out his platform as well also. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, J Lamb. Hopefully, it will work. Boom, there we are. Welcome.
How's it going, guys?
I'm
What the
doing
fuck is good,
wonderful.
man?
What is good, Arisol? How you doing
Yo,
there,
man, how you
Stevie?
been? How you been? You good, brother?
I'm excellent. How are
Good,
you?
man. You know I'm good, man. You know, still working, man, doing my thing. You know I had to come on here show my love and support, man. You know I love your music, bro. Work out to your shit as
I
always,
appreciate you.
man.
You know that. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
already know. I know you got something new out, man.
I do. I got some new stuff cooking in the books. You know it.
I already know, man. Good, man. You know. I had to get you on the show with her, man. You know, so definitely, man. I had to let her know
I
about you, brother.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
It sucks I couldn't make it down to Connecticut, man, for the to shoot the video because like I don't know what the deal was with the video guy, but I'm going to come. I'm going to come to Connecticut soon, man. I definitely when I come down there, we're gonna link up, man.
Absolutely. You got to call me. Call me.
I got,
I'm
I
here.
got you. You know, I got
I'm
your number.
here.
I'll be in touch. Man, 'cause you know, I fuck with the music heavily, man. So you
I
know,
appreciate you. Thank you.
for sure, man, for sure. But I ain't gonna be on here long, man. I'm being alive, chatting it up with you guys, and do your thing, brother.
Thank you.
All right, bro.
Yes, make sure you guys go and check out Aerosol. Please go and follow. And we
That's
did
right.
an interview.
Hot, hot,
I've
hot.
interviewed a couple of the artists that
Video.
you
Hold up.
guys.
Before I go. Videos coming. I'm doing a video Sunday, so be looking out for that. And then I'll be on live Monday. I'm gonna invite you on the live again so we can y'all can listen to the album. I don't know what happened the last time, but I'll be back on live this Monday, IG, playing my album again for you guys.
All right, there you have it. And make sure y'all go and follow as well. Shout outs to Pure Lux, Pretty in Pink. Thank you. Yes, pink, 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 pink. Barbie was the inspiration. So, welcome to the dollhouse. J Lamb, it is such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. I've been super excited to be on.
Yes, 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 yes. So, before we kick off this interview, how has 2025 been for you so far?
It has been excellent, challenging, but challenging is always good for me. I learn a lot in my challenging years, so you have to be challenged in life in order to learn and be willing to look at it. So it's been challenging, but in a good way. Business-wise, in all aspects, my music, the other entrepreneur stuff I do, my painting and power washing business, just everything that I do. So it's been wonderful. How about yourself?
It has been amazing as well too. It's been challenging, but fighting and still getting over these obstacles. Overall, 2025 has been an amazing year. Almost everything that I've manifested is now coming to fruition. So
That's
it's
right.
been like a roller coaster, bumpy, but we're still going and we're still here.
That's right.
Yes, yes. So let's start at the beginning of your journey. We're going to open the storybook. Tell us, who is Jalen? I know who you are. I know you've worked with several artists and producers. You're based in the LA area, and you have a background of music for different genres. What I love about you is you play with different genres of music, the same way that Ira Soul does as well too. Ira doesn't just specifically go for soul music, but he goes in a different array of musical genres as
Yeah,
well too. And
absolutely.
that's what I love about both of y'all is the fact that y'all dabble in different arenas. You don't put yourself in just one box. Now, what I love also about your music is that it has like a 90s feel to it. It has a
Awesome.
90s feel, and I know a lot of people are looking for that nostalgia. But before we get to the music aspect, tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and how many siblings.
Okay, so my name is Joshua. I go by the artist name J Lamb. I grew up in Norwich, Connecticut. Um, I have two brothers, and their names are Ethan and Caius. They're my brothers from marriage, but nevertheless, they are my brothers, and I've known them for a third of my life so far. So it's been a long journey with them. But I grew up, like I said, in the Norwich, Connecticut area, and I ventured off into my little music making thing when I was very young. I started watching, like, MTV was just starting to get big in like my era and time. So like I was
Yes.
watching Britney Spears when she was doing "Oops, I Did It Again," and Michael Jackson, "Remember the Time," and Backstreet Boys and NSYNC were coming out with "Bye Bye Bye," and like all these, like, iconic people of that era. I was growing up just starting to be in it, just watching it and seeing it, and it was just a thing for me.
And I'm so glad you touched on the MTV aspect of it, because back, you mentioned Michael. Michael was one of the ones that was out here breaking glass ceilings so
That's
that you
right.
could have R&B and hip hop artists being played. Because I mean, yo, MTV Raps, it was so many shows that showcased hip hop and R&B artists on MTV at that time. But Michael, Whitney, Madonna, they were the ones
That's
that
right.
pushed the envelope and shattered those glass ceilings so that artists could have all genres of music being played, because they wouldn't play
Oh
certain
yeah,
ones.
absolutely. And they have affected the inspiration for like that is a legacy that people dream of making. And they did that. They absolutely did that. And that has definitely all of those artists have been some of the hugest inspirations as to why I do what I do.
I can
I owe it to
tell.
them. I
Yeah.
absolutely owe it to them. Without their inspiration and their like light, there would be no Jay Lamb. I got that inspiration from them. Of course, I have my own authenticity, but I got the inspiration from somewhere. I got them from the greatest of all times. That's what I did.
And that you did. The King of Pop is one of your greatest inspirations. Now,
That's
other than
right.
Michael Jackson, if you had to do a Mount Rushmore of your top five inspirational artists, what comes to
Ooh,
mind? Who else comes to mind besides Michael?
ooh.
You had to do a Mount
Okay,
Rushmore.
that's a good one. See, I know a little thing or two about songwriters and the artists themselves. So I know that I have a special place for the songwriters who do write some of these bigger artists their songs and have. And but if I obviously Michael Jackson is he's my number one. I would love to just sit in a room and listen to him talk. It doesn't matter what It doesn't matter what we decide to talk about. I just would appreciate the moment forever. My second person, in no order specifically, do I have like a favorite. It's just people I would love to sit in a room with. This is kind of hard, but another songwriter who inspired me in one of my darkest times, coming into who Jay Lamb also was, and like being more inspired by love and healing and things that are important to me and who I am and why I came here, is Ed Sheeran.
Oh,
A wonderful songwriter, just touched a place in my heart, like I said, at a very dark time. So I listened to what he was saying, and it really spoke to me. So his song, and he's written songs for some of the greatest people, even the greatest groups: One Direction, Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes. He collabs with Beyonce. It's endless for him. So Ed Sheeran. This one's gonna go a little left field, but Phil Collins.
oh, again,
Phil
that music
Collins.
is here. You're very eclectic. And Ira Soul in the comments just said, you know what? Definitely got that 80s and 90s vibe, and that's exactly who I would compare you to, The Weeknd, because y'all, it's very parallel.
Yeah,
It's
I can
very
understand
much
that
my
for sure.
yeah.
And that's excellent too, because to be compared to someone again of that caliber is wonderful. It's a great feeling to understand that I give off that energy, and I could be compared to someone wonderful, which is great. So Phil Collins, another one. I would love to sit in a room with, I'm gonna say, probably Prince. Um, his wisdom is just
Oh,
beautiful, and sometimes it has nothing to do with the music for me. It has to do with the message, and I feel like that's I would just love to have a conversation. Like again, just sit in the room, see what happens, vibe, energy, see what comes from this wonderful person, who creates this beautiful music, poetry, beautiful.
my God. And before I let you get to the next artist, Prince, I've had the pleasure of interviewing Ron Cat Spearman, who wrote
Oh wow,
Jade's Don't Walk Away. And he's worked with Prince. He's worked with Tony Braxton as well too. He's written for some and worked with some of the biggest names. But
that's
he said
amazing.
Prince. He shared a Prince story in that interview. So go back and check out that interview, y'all. Ron Cat Spearman. Uh, and he was saying just Prince was in his own lane. He was so innovative. And I was honored to be privy to that knowledge that he shared of working with Prince and having that experience with him,
Mm-hmm.
going back in time, being able to play instruments, because Prince was big on instruments. If you go
Oh,
back
I
and you
believe
watch his
that.
live performances, you were going to get your money's worth. And he would stand on top of the piano and dance like it's nobody's business, like it's no tomorrow. But one thing I admire about Prince is the business aspect of him too. And you and Ira remind me so much of Prince. And I say that because as far as the business aspect goes, Prince was signed to a label. And then he said,
Mm-hmm.
nope, nope, I'm done with labels. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to start my own thing. And then you see Shaka Khan work with him.
Yep.
And it was somebody else. His name is Larry. I cannot remember his last name, but I know Larry was also signed to his label. He had a label. And Mel B did an interview. Mel B from the Spice Girls did an interview.
Oh
She was
wow.
pregnant in that interview. A lot of people don't know that. So a little knowledge there. She was pregnant in that interview as well. And he was talking about starting his own label. And we know Paisley Park, the estate. Prince
Yep.
probably had his music in the vault. He was genius. One thing I can say about him, he did not play about owning his masters. And that was something that I wanted to touch on with you also before we, but I'm going to let you continue on with the other artists. But I wanted to discuss that aspect of Prince because he still doesn't get his just due enough. Remarkable and ahead of his time.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I agree. So my last artist, it's very hard, guys. I've gotten inspiration. One of the things I learned from one of the greatest is study the greatest so that you can understand why they are great. So every person you could think of imaginable in all kinds of genres, whether it's, I mean, down to Queen, Linkin Park,
Oh, yeah.
what's the group name? Is it Sum 21? Um, Nevertheless, Green Day. Like I write and I listen to all kinds of music. Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, Dolly Parton. Like there's so many great people, and I listen to all of them. I
And
listen. So I don't just listen to their music. I listen to all of them.
And I can tell you study their craft. They've really, really influenced your music. And as my brother, shout outs to the K2 spot. Make sure you guys head on over and subscribe to his platform. And we have something planned together as well to a couple of collaborations. So y'all stay tuned for that. He says you have a great taste in music, Jalen.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
A very eclectic ear for sound, for music. Your ear is very eclectic. I remember doing an interview with 112, and one of the members, Mike, shocked me. because we know 112 is an R&B group, but
Hmm.
he said, I listen to Mozart, I listen to rock
Oh,
and
oh
roll, I
God,
listen to all. I'm like, you shocked me because I would have thought it just been hip hop and R&B and B and growing up in the church gospel, of course. But he shocked me when he said that. And as an artist, you have to be able to have a keen listening ear because artists out today that we see, like a Coco Jones, like a Beyonce, who's been
yeah.
around for Queen Bee has been around for a long time. She's
Oh
been
God,
around.
yeah. She's
Yes.
gonna be there.
And she
She's gonna be
studied,
there.
Beyonce studied Tina Turner. And a lot of people make the comparison to Beyonce and Tina because of the dancing and getting on stage and giving an electrifying performance, as we
Yeah,
see
that
with
energy don't
Renaissance.
lie.
Yes,
Energy don't lie.
and it's just like she's invincible. You can tell she studied Michael. You can tell she
Hmm.
studied Tina. You can tell she studied the people before her. And now that cycle is going on with Beyonce being a vet in the game, a legend in the game. Her daughter, as we see now on tour with her,
Yup.
have picked
Everywhere.
up same dance moves. Now, if Blue Ivy starts to learn how, if Blue Ivy starts singing, you're going to have a problem on your hand. Because a lot
I
of
don't think there's no
artists,
way she's not singing right now. She's probably singing, but low key about it.
at 11 years old, this girl started dancing. If you go back and you watch her documentary, she said, "Okay,
Hmm.
now if I let you on stage, you do this. You got to make sure you're gonna be in for the long run. Don't let me down." Those
Hmm.
were Beyonce's exact words. Go back and look at those clips. And now look at Blue Ivy. Same dance moves. She studied her mother. So I'm
That's
saying
right.
that to say this: a lot of these artists that are coming before us, the next generation, and time again, like you've mentioned Prince. I think of Duran Bernard. And
Hmm.
the similarities, the styling, everything reminds me so much of Prince. Even Billboard magazine named him the new generation Prince, Duran Bernard, because Duran can go up there and hit those high notes just like Prince. He'll get up there and he'll
Hmm.
make these funny faces and do all sorts of stuff,
That's
but
right.
he's super talented. And Prince did the same thing. Prince knew how to use humor, sex appeal, stage presence. And
That's
all of
right.
these artists that we named, from Michael to Beyonce to one of my favorites is Janet. I'm a big Janet fan.
Oh God,
I
yeah.
love
Janet
Janet
Jackson's
Jackson.
still fired.
Yes, still touring, still looking as beautiful as ever, a consummate professional. All of these names that I just named are consummate professionals. And we've seen Michael, Beyonce, behind the scenes saying, no, 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 we're not going to do it till it is right. And I know you are the same way. And I know Ira is the same way. Ira went live one day. And I don't know if I don't know if he's still here or not, but I did peek in a little bit. And he was in the studio doing his thing, producing,
Yep.
directing, writing. Nope, the same thing applies. We're not going to do it until it is right. And that is what it takes to be a consummate professional, not just owning the masters, which we'll get to next. But that was a question that I also wanted to ask you as well, Jalen. For you, what do you think are the qualifications that people who are in the music business as artists need to know, especially independent artists that are coming up? We have so many that are signed to labels, but we have some that are independent. Independent artistry is now popular
It
and
sure
it's
is.
been there, but Prince was the one to break that mold. But now we see other artists saying, okay, I don't want to be signed to a label, I want to do this independently. What gems would you give them?
Okay, so everybody listen up. I think the most important thing to do is be patient. Be
Yeah.
patient, study, and understand that everything has a divine timing. Everything has a divine timing. Some people get it sooner, some people get it later. It doesn't make it any different. Everything has its divine timing. I think it's important that you pay attention to your relationships that you make, because as much as everyone thinks like, look, I'm talented, this is a business and it's a business first. And as much as I want to hype my people up and be like, yes, you are talented, you're this, you have this, yes, I honestly believe you do have what it takes, but the industry does not work that way. I've been moving around 10 years doing things, just playing chess, understanding how people move, and like It's important to study your people, understand the energetic vibe that you guys are having, that what you're trying to do. Besides that, like when you're trying to understand, again, it's business. So make sure when it comes down to the business, like it's all business, things might need to be all in writing. There needs to be very mutual ground level. I always feel like people need to protect themselves, especially as independent artists.
Oh,
People
yes.
take advantage of you so quickly. It's not even funny. You know why? Because you are talented. Some of you are very talented, and they see that as an opportunity to take your money, or whatever it is. Like, you have to really understand, like, it's a business. So understand what you're doing. Understand who you're working with, vet it out, be patient, don't rush nothing. There's nothing to rush. Nothing. The only thing rushing does is create problems sometimes, most times. So I really find it important, energetically study your people, understand who you're getting involved with. It is a business first. That's just the nature of it. And you could be as talented as you want, but it's a business. And it's my obligation to look out for those independent artists who get taken advantage of in that case. They're very naive and
Yeah.
also hungry. I understand. I was there too. I'm still there. But just be patient, study your people, build real relationships, and make sure when it comes down to the nitty and gritty, which is the business part, you guys have things written out in paper, especially as independent artists. If you were going to a big company, they're going to have you do it on paper anyway. So, like, what's the difference between you doing it and treating yourself like the professional you are, and the company being a professional and treating, adding you into the professionalism that you are in a different way? So I think it's important that you protect yourself.
And Ira says, bro, keep making those hits. You a star.
I appreciate you, Iris. So thank you.
And I'm gonna touch on that. You said the key word right there, business, and reading over the paper, writing it down. My
Yes.
brother, if you here, put a pink heart, since I'm wearing pink today. Put a pink heart in the comments, and let me know that you're here. My brother K Tukes did an interview with Taj from SWV,
Yep.
and one of the questions that she was asked in the interview was, for artists, what do artists need to do? With her being in the game a long time as well, too, SWB, the girl group, has been in the game for a minute. It's been in the game
Mm.
for a very long time. And one of the questions that someone asked her was, what can people do to get into business? She said, understand the business. She said, read over everything. Don't just jump in and be, because you said a lot of independent artists who are just coming out there, so you're not understanding or having a grasp of the business. So it's
Exactly.
always great to have someone that you truly trust there, reading over everything with a fine-tooth comb before you sign anything, which
That's
leads me
right.
to the next part of the conversation. She was absolutely spot on. And there's so many programs out here that can help you on that, from they don't even have it anymore. Beach One's behind the music, but there's some out there. You go out there in the YouTube verse somewhere, you can
Yeah,
find a couple
absolutely.
episodes, and they'll tell you what artists had to endure to get to this superstardom. What they had to do. There, it wasn't always, because people see the glitz and the glamour, but you have to understand what this artist had to do to get here. They're just not
Exactly.
going to get a deal and get signed overnight. No, you have to work your way up. You have to send, back in the day, it was what was it called? A demo tape. You would have to record a demo tape. They would listen to the demo tape, or they would request that you sing a cappella, because
Oh
of the
yeah,
whole
absolutely.
vanilla situation
Oh,
that
I
happened.
remember those days.
Yes. They wanted you to sing live in person in real time. And
You got to
Coco,
see that
also
real
with
talent.
XWV, said the same thing as well too. Those girls had to sing from the bottom up. And it was originally supposed to be 4 women in the group, but it winded up being 3. And they
Hmm.
were going to be named TLC, but unfortunately there was a TLC. So a little FYI for those of you who know. So yeah, I do my musical
Little
research.
gem.
I'm a historian over here as it pertains to the musical aspect. But
Yes.
all of these things are true. Programs like behind the music, programs like Unsung, where you find out what an artist had to go through, and how they had to fight to get their masters or get the rights to their music. Because we even see it is even on the pop side, where Taylor Swift just
Oh,
not too long ago
absolutely.
did an interview where she said, I had to go back in the studio and re-record my album. The same applied for Ashanti. She had to go back into a studio and re-record her debut album as well. So all of these things come into consideration of being in the business and not knowing, having that aspect, having someone there to keep you grounded, to tap you and say, this doesn't seem right. So read over everything you sign with a fine tooth comb. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that brings me to the next part of our conversation, Jalen, because I know you've worked with a lot of artists and producers. The aspect of it of owning your masters. It is key and crucial. So, what gems would you give to artists on owning their masters and maintaining their masters as it pertains to owning their music and their rights?
Again, I think one of the most important thing to do is study your people and also make sure you have things in writing, like the my masters, I own all my masters. I own everything possible you think I could own to my song, I own. I own the publishing rights, I own like the royalty rights, I own like everything possible to my song, thanks to my awesome manager, Summer. Thank you. Shout out Summer. But again, just protecting yourself. You have to understand that you're getting involved in a business, no matter whether it's talented or not. Think about this. LeBron James was talented before he became an NBA star.
Oh, yeah,
It's the same
certainly.
concept with the music, with anything. You gotta you gotta protect yourself. You gotta protect yourself. It's important. It's important to protect yourself. I think getting it writing, understanding your people, like I said, that's just what it is. You have to make sure you own your masters. Be like, I own the masters. I paid for it. Here's what it is. Our transaction is strictly this. That's it.
And another example too, as well, to trademarking, marketing,
That's
distribute.
right.
I couldn't get it out. Distribution. Please forgive me,
Yup.
y'all. I'm tongue tied. I'm feeling like my colleague
There's so
Buffs the
many.
God now. Oh my goodness. But marketing,
Yes.
distribution, making sure that you know everything that goes into it. It's a lot that goes into creating an album. But if you're doing it independently, you're having to literally go inside your pockets now and fund this project. The instruments, everything. You're doing that yourself. But the beauty of being an independent artist is you knowing that it's coming from you and you get to push it out on the date you get to push it out.
Ain't that
And
right?
shout outs to Vontae. Vontae is another music artist that I've had the pleasure of sitting with as well too. And he was saying that being an independent artist is not easy, but it's so worth it because you have full total creative control. Whereas if you're signed to a label, it's all willy-nilly. Yes, you get a good deal, but that deal will expire pretty soon. And they're gonna, the record company could end. And that's happened to a lot of artists where it goes to another label mate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
I
sad.
remember
Sad.
Mariah Carey had a record label or something. Allure, the girl group, was signed to her.
Hmm.
And they were just shopping for deals. A lot of people had to shop for deals. The girl group Black, Blaque. Rest in peace, Natina Reed. That was Left
Hmm.
Eye of TLC's. That was her girl group. It was originally her brother Ronald Lopez's group, but Lisa took
Oh
the group
wow.
from Ronald. And that was something that Lisa taught them, is that as it pertains to getting a deal, shopping around, if you're going to sign with a record label, sign with this record label. But some of the groups that have signed or artists that have signed, those record labels are no longer, and they've had to go and shop around with other record labels that were still relevant and existent. So it was like a
Hmm.
competition in a way. You're
That's
shopping
right.
to see who gets the deal first. But if you're an independent artist, you're funding this, you have your own label. Like what I love about Ira is that Ira has his own label. And all of the artists that he has recommended from me, whether it be maybe Cougar Kai, whether
Yep.
it may be Santana, whether it may be Jalen, whether it's be any de-datification, any artist or
Mhm.
producer that I've had the pleasure that of working with Ira, he has recommended to me. They're all under that umbrella. So it's all about him having the management and the rights. So trademarking is key and crucial. I say this to my brother. My brother K Toops has the K Toops spot. I have Style by Stevie. So Style by Stevie is already trademarked. So I think if you're going to get into music business, you have to understand trademarking, distribution, and how
That's
it
true.
works, marketing, making sure that you got great PR, making sure that you have them promoting and saying, okay, we're going to release the album on this day. So it doesn't come out looking all willy-nilly. Because for TLC's, I think their third album, which was 3D, the second one, no, I think that would have been the fourth album because the third one was fan mail. The fourth one was 3D. And I remember T-Boz from TLC saying, and at the time Left Eye passed away.
Yep.
So the album, if you go back and y'all look at that cover, because they were still grieving, they just put it all together all willy-nilly. It was dark. It was beautiful, but it was dark. They were all dressed in black. So you could tell they were in mourning. But the record label, Arista, Clive Davis, Whitney Houston, we know Arista
Hmm.
Records. I'm a big Whitney fan, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And she just celebrated her birthday. But
Shout out Whitney.
Eba said we wanted to do some creative control. If you don't say something, the record label is just going to go on ahead and put it out there all willy-nilly. But I want to have my creative input. So the beauty of independent artistry is that you have full total control over what you want your look to look like. You don't want to look like the sophomore album going into the third album. You know what I'm saying? So I
Absolutely.
mean, that transition period of where you're transitioning because your sound isn't going to sound the same, your look isn't going to sound the same. So, Jalen, for you, what advice would you give to artists as they transition from that transition period of music? Because they think us, the consumers, the listeners, we're thinking that we're going to get the same thing that we did for the sophomore album. And then when we're listening to it, it's just like, ooh, this is a little bit different. It's rock and roll, it's hip hop, it's all of these things. So I give you an example. Beyonce, she gave us a loop when she gave us this Cowboy Carter album right here.
Yep.
We
Yes,
didn't
she
know
did.
what we was going to expect, and we're still predicting and guessing what the third one's going to be. So if you guys have predictions, drop them in the comments. A lot of people are saying and speculating that it could be rock and roll, and it's just like this woman has sung almost every genre of music from R&B to gospel. She did the gospel song with her bandmate and her sister Michelle Williams and Kelly, her sister Kelly. So I mean, Beyonce can do any category of music, and even Smokey Robinson said that as well too about her. Let her explore genres. As an artist, you have the right to explore different genres. So what gems would you give to artists as it pertains to shifting that transition period of different sound and music? Because every artist has to change. It can't sound the
Absolutely.
same, you know?
My advice is to understand that part of life is growth, and
Oh yeah.
part of growth is experiencing and understanding the lessons and things that have been taught to you, or and sometimes they're not just, not everything's a lesson, but like things that you experienced, everything, and including lessons and life lessons, which is why at these points of transition, people are like, whoa, this feels a little different. Well, yeah, it's been 2 years since my last release. I lost a couple of family members. I
Fine.
struggled with depression.
Ooh.
I still wanted to come out and show that, like, I'm here to make my people rise and awaken that spirit and who they are on the inside. But I've been fighting this for the last 2 years. So that's transition, that's transformation, that's what it looks like. It doesn't feel comfortable. It's not supposed to. So it does feel uncomfortable. Sometimes it sounds uncomfortable. You're like, whoa, this is a little different. But experience does that to you, life does that to you. Some people are very fortunate to have it easy, and a lot of us are not. And I think that's the beauty in the art, the transformation point. Some people won't understand that because not everyone grows with you, like you grow away from a lot of friends that you don't even talk to from high school, middle school,
Oh
college,
yeah.
none of that. So it's the same
Absolutely.
concept. When you start growing, energies, I'm all about spirituality, energy. Like energy won't, it won't align. You're just gonna start drifting apart, and that's just the nature of it. So my advice is continue understanding that you're gonna learn, you're meant to grow, you're meant to heal, and change comes along with those things. You could still be you, and you could still express it how you need to, but not everyone's gonna understand that. So just keep doing you. Like it's okay. It's okay. But if you're trying to go for something, yeah, that's just my advice. Just stay the best you can. That's all you can do. You know, just learn, keep growing, and understand that the transformation is needed, no matter what.
And speaking of transitioning, let's get into your music. You've got Pharaoh's Magic, and one of my favorites is Love is Loud. And again, as me and Ira and the audience were saying, it gives you that Michael Jackson slash The Weeknd feel, but you stayed in your own lane. And originality is key for a lot of artists. Like you find your identity, you find your identity. I don't want to be like a Beyonce, I don't want to be like a Janet,
That's right.
but these are my influences and I'm going to stay in my lane. They are the inspiration behind
That's
it and the
right.
influence, of course, but I'm going to do my thing and add my thing to it. So the
Right.
beauty of being an artist is being able to step out of your comfort zone. So tell us about the writing process for both songs, Pharaoh's Magic and Love is Loud.
So I'll start off with Pharaoh's Magic. Pharaoh's Magic was I had gone through a transformation, and it was it was like through pain and struggling and healing, but I found a lot of love in that stuff. And it helped me understand one, who I am, why I'm here on earth, what I came to do, and um the like what's important to me. So it was just a reminder to my people and like myself that you know um I've walked this earth many times. I know it. I'm here on a strict mission, but also I'm here for my people. I'm here to help them rise. I was here on a promise, and willingly came to help save my people, and that's what I'm here. It's in my name. I can't help it. It's who I am, and I was sent here, and that's what I'm here to do. So it was just kind of a reminder to my people, you know, no matter what happens, I'm here. I'm here. I'm gonna be present, and you're gonna feel this energy. So that's what it was. It was a magical song of just understanding who I am and what I want to bring to the table for not just me, not just for my loved ones, but for my people, because I love my people. I came here to serve my people. I was called upon, and now I'm here. So I'm here to do what I'm here to do.
And as an artist, I say this all the time to a lot of artists as well. Uh, Artists are like doctors. You administer medicine to people. How an actual,
Hmm.
not actual medication, but you're doing it through your music. A
That's right.
person can put on a song, and a song can make you feel so many different emotions. It can make you feel sadness. It can make you think of someone that you miss. It can make you fall in love.
That's
It can
right.
make you energetic. Like I've been,
Adventurous, all of
yes,
it. Yeah,
all of these different emotions. And you turn on that song on the radio in your car or when you're exercising, when you're at work in the office in the break or whatever. It's always going to be music in some sort of way, even in the grocery stores. In
oh
the
yeah,
grocery stores, in the cafe, wherever, you're going to hear music. Music is supposed to heal people, and that's
that's
what you're
right.
doing. You're healing people. You're administering medicine through your
That's right.
lyrics. And we've seen stories where people would literally be listening to sound. They could be in a coma and wake up miraculously, all because of the sound of music. That's how powerful it is. It's
That's right.
something in there. There's a hidden underlying message in the music. So listen carefully to the lyrics. And not only just listen carefully to the lyrics, but sit back and observe, like, I might know someone who's been through this situation, and it's
That's
like they're
right.
singing to my soul. Another one of my favorite artists who I truly, truly love is Sade. I'm a big Sade fan. The Love Deluxe album, where she is like this bronze goddess. Y'all know the cover. If you
That's
know, you
right.
know.
That's right.
It puts me in an element where I'm relaxed, I'm at ease. Even through all of the midst of the chaos, I could be exercising in the morning. I exercise to Sade. If not Sade, then it is, who else do I listen to? It's a neo soul singer by the name of Kanya Doss. So if you like Jill Scott, you'll love Kanya Doss.
Yep.
Her name is Kanya.
Kanye.
Conya. Kanya Doss.
Okay, awesome.
Doss. Yes, beautiful. I had the pleasure of interviewing her. Her music is the same element as Sade, but she's in the neo soul arena with Erica Badu, Jill
Oh,
Scott,
nice.
Chrisette Michelle, Lettucey, Leela James, all of them. Yeah. So if you
Yeah.
like them, you'll love Kanye.
Oh, absolutely.
But I yes, she is. And if you go back and you watch her music video, she was so alluring, so mysterious. It's captivating. It's like Bulletproof Heart off of, I think, the Love Deluxe album.
Hmm.
That's one of the singles. She has a couple of them on there that will make you like, wow, I feel like I can relax. I can be at ease. So that's what Sade does to you. She puts you in an element. She makes you at ease. The same thing you do with your music. So an artist's job, and another one of my favorite female artists would be Nina Simone. She said an artist's job is to reflect the times. So with the times that we're going through right now, these very dark times, you bring a
Hmm.
light to the world, Jalen. So continue to keep being that light to
Thank you.
people, because I've read some of your posts, and your post is just is about bringing peace. It's about bringing positivity to the world through music.
That's
And as
right.
an artist,
Strengthen
you
my
want to
people who've
help
suffered
people.
for
Right.
generations, and it's not just the people who are alive. I'm talking about our ancestors who are pushing us right now to do this so that way they can all live at peace. We can live at peace, and it's going to take a lot, but I'm willing to put in the work. I've always have. That's why I'm here again, to put in the work. And I'm just going to do it. Like there's nothing else. That's what I'm here for. I'm going to do it.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
And it's so
And I
much
think
more to
that's the
come.
beauty of music too. Like you were saying, is that, I feel music is a universal language that everybody speaks. Even deaf people can hear the beats, like they can feel it. They can feel it. So like it's a universal language that we all speak. It's like a radio. Turn the dial and figure out which intellect you're speaking real quick, You put on you're like, oh, whoa, this is speaking to me, you know? So that's why I like to write all kinds of music too, because you get to speak to everybody. My objective is to speak to everybody, not just one selective group of people. Like, no, I'm going to speak to everybody. So if I can write 80s rock, I'm gonna, and it's great. It's wonderful, great time. 90s music, I'm in there. R&B, I'm in there. Pop, I'm in there. Rap and hip hop, that's the culture I grew up in. People weren't vibing with the singing thing when I was growing up. I had to venture off into who I was to be me. And I'm glad I did. But again, hip hop and rap community, all of that stuff. So it's, everyone speaks differently. And if you've
And
been
your
through
music
it,
is
you'll
like a
know.
gumbo. It's not just in one lane. And
Right.
Ira says that you've got hits, you've got the voice that
Hmm.
belongs in the industry. You do. Both of you, actually. Yeah.
I appreciate you, Ira. Thank you. You too. You know it. You got big things coming.
And you have some stuff coming out as well, too. So
That's right.
before we get to that, we were talking about the musical aspect, but writing. What is it like writing for other artists? Because you've worked with an array of artists and producers as well, too. So what's that experience like to be able to shadow and write for other artists as well?
I think it's so, as writing for other artists is beautiful because one, I get to study that person and figure out who they are, right? And without writing for them, I get to see like what they are, just by looking at them, feeling them. I'm like, all right. And then I just I hear their voice before, and I just like it clicks. Like I don't know, it's like immediately I'm like, okay, here it is, and it just happens. Like the minute I hear your voice in my head, if I want a song written with your voice there, it's written, and it's written a very certain way to fit a very certain vibe. Like that was me studying the music and everything. So yeah. Yeah.
And in a way, it's like a therapy session, but you're not the one being talked to. You're the
Yes.
therapist, and you're asking the other artists, like, how are we feeling today? What are you feeling about this song? You know, what type of emotions, what type of instruments? All of those things go into creating that gumbo that we love, that is
Hmm.
wholesome and warming to our souls. And it is amazing that we have the creative process where our minds can come together and just create off of each other's energy. And
Oh,
that's what makes a
absolutely.
great record. That's what makes a great hit right there. So, I mean, we could go back in time to some of the most greatest collaborations from Michael McDonald to Patti LaBelle. It's so many where it's just like it blended so well. It
That's right.
blended. It's like in sync. So that was another question that I wanted to ask you. What are the perfect key elements that make a duet? Because I can feel a duet brewing with you and Ira. I feel it. I'm a
I
woman, so
feel like
women, we get this intuition, and my intuition is telling me that
that's right.
you and Ira are going to be working on something.
Oh, we're gonna work on something. I've been waiting to work with Ira, so the minute I get to work with Ira, I know we're gonna do something wonderful. I've had plenty of ideas brewing up in there. There's nothing. There's always stuff going on up here. So I've been waiting, and we'll have our time, and it's gonna come out great. I feel like I got something in mind. I got something in mind. I've had something in mind, but I got something in mind. So it'll be wonderful. I'm gonna bring it back a little bit and try to uh, do something within the '90s era, something really nice. Because I feel like the '90s, like Shy and Boyz II Men,
Oh
like
yeah,
it just like it was different, and I loved it, and I feel like with just two of us, we can nail that. So I'm
absolutely.
excited. I got some ideas.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm so happy, y'all. Y'all just don't know. Like, music does something to you. It gets you in an element
That's
and an
right.
escape you've never been before. And I've sat with so many music artists, and being able to hear their stories of how this song came to be, how the
Mm-hmm.
songwriting process for them is therapeutic, because it's like you're putting everything you wanted to say. It's like writing a note to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But when artists pen hits to people, it's like you're writing a letter to us, the consumer. And I love it where back in the day you could go through, Jay Lim and Ira can attest to this too. Any artist, Lauren as well, Lauren Jamal. Lauren, we gotta set something up, boo. You was on my brother show, and you always come through and show me mad love. I gotta have you on the show if you still here. But an artist, you're sitting there, everything that you're feeling. Well, you go
Mm-hmm.
on that album cover, we rip out that album jacket, and we're able to read the lyrics and read along and think closely, like, this is deep right here. It's poetry. It's poetry to the mind, and you have to be able to connect with your audience and your base, and y'all do an outstanding job of doing that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely I keep in mind like when I'm saying something, I try to almost make it feel like as if when you say it, you feel it too. So when you repeat it, you're like, "Huh, what is that?" You got to feel it from what's inside.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Ira says, you already know, bro. I would love to work with you. Let's go. We're gonna make history.
That's right. We're going to make something, we're going to make legacy. Something legendary.
And I can't wait. This is going to be the perfect blend with Ira bringing his soulful voice and you bringing the mixture of everything from hip hop to jazz. Because I can tell rock and roll, you've all of these influences, both of you infuse it in your
Yeah, I
music
have to. You got to
together.
study the greatest. They
It's going to
come
be
from
like a
all over
gumbo.
the place.
Yeah.
They come from all over the place, and that's what makes them great, you know?
God. And that's what it's about. That's what's making a great artist, is being able to dabble in all genres of music. And sometimes it will throw us, the consumers and the listeners, off. Like I said with Beyonce, when she announced that she was coming out with the country album, we're thinking sadness, guitars, my fair bluebell. That's just an example. But uh no, she did what Beyonce does. She
That's
added
right. She
funk,
nailed
she
it.
added hip hop, she added R&B. But of course it was country. She put her spin onto it. Jolene on Cowboy Carter. You mentioned Dolly, so that was the
Yep.
first song that came to my mind. Dolly Parton gave her the stamp and seal of approval. She loves it. So if you're going to take somebody's song and redo it, and Michael Jackson, I think, did it for one of his albums. I think it was Off the Wall. And that was
Yep.
originally I Can't Help It, which is one of my favorites. And I still want Mark Angel. Shout outs to Mark Angel to do a cover for that song, because he sounds so much like Michael. And he gave me a taste of it in my interview. I said, you got to do this song, Mark. You got to redo it. So a lot of artists are taking songs and reimagining them, putting their spin on it, and being as creative as possible. And that's what makes great artistry. Not duplicating the original thing, but putting your spin onto it
That's right.
and
We don't need
adding
another one.
different elements. Yeah.
We need a you. That's what we need. We need a you. We need you to speak to us.
Yes. And that's what we need more than ever. We need
Mm.
people to have their own originality, and that's what makes great artistry. So, before we close, because we are now almost in the closing hour, I'm going to do a game here with J Lamb, and J Lamb has to give me 5 things that he can't live without as an artist from the artist standpoint. I do the rapid five for people in their everyday lives, things that they like, their favorite drink or their favorite food, their shows they like to binge watch. But for you as an artist, because I know every artist likes to have an element when they're writing, like Erica Badu, and I'm pretty sure you've seen some of her performances back
Oh,
in the
of
day.
course.
I love Erica. She would have it in an element. You would walk in the studio or whatever, or when she's doing a live performance, she would have incense. Y'all remember Erica would have the head wrap, and she would have incense, lemongrass, and oil, all sorts of things to get her in her element and she would drink honey tea. So these are things that I remember. As an artist, we have to find an escape and a getaway before we head out on that stage, or just set an element or a mood. So what are the 5 things for you, Jay Lamb, that you can't live without when you're performing, either on and off the stage, or prepping to go on?
Okay, so 5 things that I cannot live without is, you can bet before I'm getting on stage, there is an energetic gathering and understanding that this is for a great purpose. What I'm doing is for something much larger than just making music. It's not about the music, it's about the message that I'm sending and what I'm trying to do within the music. So you better believe I'm doing something energetically right before I get into any type of anything, recording, on stage. I'm harnessing this energy of protection, love, light, and that's something I always do. Second thing I cannot live without while being at the studio performing or anything is, I need some water. I know that sounds crazy. I need water at the studio. Um, all times. It doesn't matter. But third thing I can't live without is, I need good energy in the
Yes.
studio. So incense was a good example. Like, anything that's gonna clear the energy but bring in the good energy, because when I come in there, I come in there to like really do something. You know, like I'm leaving Jay Lamb on the mic in the recording in this for you guys to feel, hear, see, experience. So I need me to be right, and that's what I do. Mostly I just take care of my inner self and the people around me, make sure they're energetically good, and I am good to go. I am good to go. I'm here to do this, and I understand. I protect my energy. I go in there with the right mindset, understanding what I'm going in there, what my intentions are, and execute.
Yes. And that's what it takes to make a great hit, to make a great performance, to make all of those things, and knowing who you are and the audience feeding off of that energy. And Diana Ross, I love Diana Ross as well too.
Oh,
She said, "You want to be
wonderful! I love
personal.
Diana.
You have to be intimate with the audience. You have to get the
Absolutely.
feeling of the energy." She, because her bodyguards, it was one performance I remember of her doing, and I watched it, where she was literally walking off the stage, coming down to where the audience was and security. And she's just like, no, 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 no. I want to be able to feel. And she was shaking hands and giving the audience members hugs, and they
That's
were
right.
crying.
Energetic exchange. It's
Yes,
important to understand that you are my people. You came here to connect. We came here to
yes.
connect through something, an energetic bond, exchange, message, so like that's so important for you to have that with your fans. Those are your not even fans, those are your people, those are your tribe.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
your tribe. Those are the people who help your light be shining. So, like give them the light in those moments because everyone doesn't get to experience what you get to experience. So, in those moments, when you can give the light, give it to them. It's an exchange. Like it's mutual.
It's very intimate. It's
Yeah.
sacred. These are things and moments that people will cherish for the rest of their lives, and they will take along with them. So
Hmm.
remember that. Now, as we come to the closing part, the final thought, we get to that. What is next in your chapter? Because in the beginning, mid part of the conversation, you did say you were working on some things. So what do you have next in store?
Well, I am working on a new album. It's going to be a very spiritual. It's a very spiritually awakening. It's for the power of my people. It's something to go a step further in the transformation of not just me but for my people, and whether it's subconsciously that they might not even understand what I'm trying to do, which is why I'm doing it in the first place. I'm saying these things, I'm saying these phrases, words, statements, whatever, uh, for a reason. So I'm trying to push that spiritual boundary for my people to understand that there is something large at hand that is much more important to me than just making music. It's the freedom of your soul. It is. It's the systems that keep you trapped in your ancestors trapped, and that you
Mm,
keep coming back here and repeating the same cycles. But some of us, and some of you know you were chosen, and now is the time to do something. Now is the time to awaken, and that's what this is. That's what this album is. They sent Joshua the Conqueror, Joshua, Nun, son of Nun, and he's going to give you exactly what he was sent here for. And that's to live with real freedom, not being trapped by any systematic things that keep us spiritually trapped. Our ancestors, you, uh, your kids, your the future. It's not just about the future. It's important. We got to start something new. So that's what this is. That's what this album is. It's something to awaken us and get us a step further to where we see ourselves actually free.
absolutely. And I want everyone to stay tuned and make sure that you are following J Lamb, following Ira. Ira has some things coming out as well too, as he just
That's
said
right.
earlier in the beginning of the show. And make sure that you follow and check out J Lamb's. Make sure y'all go and check it out. The single is titled. Make sure y'all go and check it out. Love is Loud. Make on all streaming platforms. Please
That's
go and
right.
listen to it. Also, Pharaoh's Magic. Make sure you guys please go and check it out. And before we let you go, J Lamb, gems. What gems would you give to people to take with them in these dark times, as you said, where it feels like people are in a mental prison? What other gems would you give to them to close out the show today?
This is one of my favorite things to do. I get the opportunity to speak to you, my people. Understand that with time comes wisdom. Learn from the things that are happening in all aspects of your life.
Mm,
Grow. Like, take the opportunity to grow with everything. Everything you got. You're being pushed for a reason, whether you feel it in your heart, these things keep happening to you, it's not coincidence. Understand the message, like you're being pushed for something much greater. And it's not just about you and me, it's about them too, so it's about all of us, and when it's about all of us, it's about something so much bigger. So understand it's important. You guys got this. There's going to be things that try to hold you back, obstacles in life. Guess what? That's part of it. That's literally what it wants to do. It's testing you. Fight it. Grow. You got what it takes. You're here for a reason. So find who you are and do something about it. Show us who you are too. We all want to see it.
absolutely. And what I would close the show out with, today's final thought also ties into what Jay Lamb just said. We are going through this period for a reason. But guess what? The path to success is to take massive, determined action. And that comes from Anthony Robbins. And I want each and every one of you to remember that. It's going to be a lot of obstacles and hurdles in your way. My mom was listening to a speech, I think, from Denzel Washington yesterday. And that was one of the things that he was saying in the speech, is that you have to cut off. You have to cut off people who are just hanging on just to be there, but
That's
not
right.
support you. You have to cut those people off. Keep the ones who are there in your corner 100%. And as it pertains to people who keep you in a mental prison, cut them off as well too. They're doing nothing but holding you back and hindering you from your greatness. So break those shackles, break those chains of
That's
the
right.
person who is trying to keep you in a mind prison. So
That's right.
remember
We
that.
got enough holding us back every single day. Every single day. Food, bills, just the fact of 9 to 5 job, you not being able to be passionate about who you are. There's so many things that have held us back. So we got this. Like I promise you, this is our time, and I promise that it will change. There is no better time than right now. So I'm gonna
I
make it
hear you,
happen.
brother. Yes. And before we let you go, I had such a great time, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show as well too. Let everyone know where they can follow you, and I would love to have you and Ira on the show once we get this collab, because I know it is going to be
Yes.
all of the things.
Yes, Miss Stevie, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been a pleasure. Honestly, I've been excited to be on the show since you reached out. Um, Absolute pleasure again, and yeah, I can't wait to be on again. So definitely, as soon as we get that collab, uh, I'm sure we'll work something out. I'm sure we'll make something happen.
I can't wait. I'm anticipating it. So you guys stay tuned. And thank you, brother. Again, y'all go and check out my brother K Tukes, host of the K Tuke Spot. Subscribe to his channel. He has some things coming up, and we're going to be collabing together. So make sure you guys go and check him out and support. And joining me Friday, we have Judy Lee. So make sure you guys tune in Friday, August 22nd for an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Head on over, subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube, and you can check this interview out from beginning to end, as well as the past few week interviews up there as well too. So thank you all. I want you guys to be safe, be mindful, be vigilant, and again, remember what J Lamb said, which is to not stay in that mental prison. And I've been attesting to that as well too. So I want you guys to be privy to that and be mindful. I love you all, fashion dolls. Take care, and I will see y'all Friday. Take care, everyone.